In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to start off with the red Zerg player. This is DRG. I have obviously not seen the brackets myself, guys, because, well, believe it or not, the brackets would probably be a spoiler. So I don't know who else was in this Group A, who else the players have kind of come through to kind of beat to get to this point or anything like that just yet. I don't know any of that right now. So all I know is that this was the next matchup on the line. Like I say, to be able to cast this with some amount of reality to it, then I have to kind of go in with less information than I would have typically had. But that's all good. Is in the top right. We know that this guy just lost to Mara at least. It is classic. Our blue Protoss player from Twisted Minds. See if he can get it done on his second attempt to qualify into 24 GSL Season 1. So we get set. We do see an Overlord of DRG heading out. There's a probe on the bottom side from Classic. Just checking the gold hasn't been taken as an initial setup here. Not a uncommon thing to do. That probe comes over. I'm going to move through that natural hatchery and just continue up in toward the main base. We're looking for a little bit more action. Drone comes over there. Just going to be seeing the probe taking a nibble. And our drone continues back across. Just going to continue to see this drone and probe going back and forth against one another for a little while. And the drone just continues through. Again, hatch, gas, spawning pool. The build order without any real surprises for these early stages. This is the Nexus and the Cybercore from our Protoss player. And we'll see where PvZ is going to take us. A larger map, Alcyone, maybe something that's a little less aggressive on the side of DRG. Maybe he does tech up a little further. Maybe we have a chance to see some mutas or something. There's obviously that gold base to consider, which is a factor. The gold base really does make it a little bit more awkward because you kind of want to make sure you've got enough army to deny a gold base and so on. You want to kind of use the gold base yourself as the Zerg and kind of propel forwards a lot of the time. So oftentimes that is a pretty big deal, a pretty big positive deal as well. So I guess we'll see how that all goes. Let's just have our Adept Chrono Boost now at this gateway. Overlord still chilling in the center, and this probe continues to move about. Yo, Kaloff, thank you so much for the 32-month resub. Welcome back for 32. Appreciate it, guys. I know there's a lot of resubs going to come in today because I've not been live for 10 days or so. Is that how long it's been? Probably February 6th or so. Sounds about right. I flew on the 6th, so maybe 11 days. So, yeah. Thank you so much for the resubs. Like I said, I know there's a few of them going to be due. Let's just have our Proby. He's going to retreat away. It's kind of job replaced or taken over by the Adept right now. So Adept gets the job of kind of coming through and keeping an eye on things. Going to go shading up in toward the high ground here. Moving in toward that main base with the Lings chasing and it'll not get anywhere. The Adept is going to successfully move back for the moment. Getting out of here for now. He's going to be able to stay safe from a distance just for the moment. So pulling back out in the center. So the Stalker at the front. The next gateway comes down as well. Is that walled off? That looks like a gap here, but then there's also a gap here, no? That doesn't look like the prettiest wall we've ever seen unless there's no way that's... Yeah, I was gonna say there's no way that's a... sometimes you start to second guess it. It's you kind of from a viewer's perspective it can look a bit weird, but yeah, that's a double hold wall, so a little bit odd. Unless there's no way it's walled off here. Maybe for a Stalker, maybe a Stalker can't fit through this side, but a Ling would get through there no problem. So that's something which Classic has to be kind of aware of. Make sure that this doesn't get too deep or go too far. There's a few other Zerglings just moved back into the center of the map. Evo Chamber, drones, Queen, and a couple of Spore Crawlers all continuing out for the moment. The Oracle still on the way. The Cybercore coming up. Highly upgrade comes through on the Evo Chamber. I guess the Oracle's going to come all the way down the south as we go for a little bit of a dive towards the main base here. There's going to be a Queen that's going to fire up a couple shots straight away. The Oracles activate onto that Queen, and now going to turn around onto Crypt Tumor. Melee Upgrade still coming through. The Queens are going to be here. The Spore Crawler firing up some shots as well. Oracles do get turned away. The rest of the Adepts, they will join up. The Revelation allows them to take down a Crypt Tumor immediately. We do have Twilight Council, Forge, etc. back at home as well. So all of these tech structures for the future get invested into right now. Also, there's this handful of adepts from Classic are going to shade toward the third, but they will not get very far. Instead, they're going to stick around over on this side, utilizing the Revelations to knock down some creep tumors. Misses this creep tumor, which is a shame, but you know what? Not the end of the world. The Koreans are going to respread it anyways. I do always like it, though, when we're using these adepts actively, looking to shut down creep, and just take map control for yourself without just trying to, like, dive into a mineral line mindlessly every single time, right? Because every single time you just mindlessly dive into a mineral line, it is a bit of a risk. Whereas in this case, not so much of one. You have a lot more control over what you're achieving. There's still a lot of Lings making their way to the other side. The Oracles are obviously all on the far left. We're going to lose one Oracle to the Queens as well. So less defense available there. You know, the Stalker's warping in. Is this really a... Is that really a wall-off? I am absolutely shocked. Can someone tell me this is a wall-off? That's wild. What is that? That doesn't even begin to look like... Is it... It must be some way that it... I honestly, if that's a wall, it's the weirdest wall I've ever seen, unless I'm... I don't know. I mean, the fact DRG didn't run through that suggests that it's not a that it is a wall off. As you see, the Bane's morphing in. It's gonna be this Ling Bane kind of attack of kind of Ling Bane Queen. So big aggressive push here from DRG as he runs forward. Orphan and Stalkers get killed. I mean, they're easy pickups and worthwhile ones too. You don't need as many Banes to blow them up because they're low HP still. The Oracles, two of them, are going to come back home. They killed a few drones, but boy, they need it defensively right now. They fly over the Queens in the process. A little bit of damage taken now. These Stalkers still moving over. And our Stalkers will chill out with these couple of Oracles. Ling's going to go. Did run a few of them into the natural now. The wall is open. As the Lings just do wrap around. No Blink still is going to be absolutely brutal here. So Stalkers will recall, but they're going to recall into what? More Lings kind of showing up. Third base is starting to die, and it looks as though Classic is going to be out of options as he's going to be taking so much damage. I mean, he's going to start clearing up a little bit in the main and the natural, but 25 probes later is maybe a little bit too long to let kind of things happen for. Lings will go after another final probe or so. Lings are going to keep on floating through, and that is pretty much going to be sealing this game number one. DRG's aggression is going to hit home and hit hard. And Classic just did not have the answer to the Ling Bane attack. I mean, he kind of needed the Oracles to start playing defense a little bit sooner, realistically. I cannot get over that this was actually a successful wall-off. Like, how did we never... that's just baffling. That's just absolutely baffling. What a wild wall. Even if that is a wall-off, I would bring into our game number two. And up one in the bottom right-hand corner will be the red Zerg player. It is DRG. Currently teamless, I believe. Top left-hand side, our blue Protoss from Twisted Minds. It is Classic. It'll be interesting to see any further moves being made on teamless players, with a lot of big teams picking them up ahead of eSports World Cup. Obviously, World Team League is... I don't know when WTL resumes, but at some point WTL likely will resume as well. Expecting all of that to be a factor. As our Drew moves by, the probe comes over. Hatcher goes on to the third location, so just going to get that set up straight away. And Hatch coming through, the couple of drones are coming out. Gateway and the probe on the way through as well, with the assimilator about to finish up. And this Overlord continues to make its way to the upper left-hand side of the map, so away we go. This probie of Classic also coming into the main base. Drone or two just going to keep on chasing after that probe. Couple more shots going off. Again, Hatch gas and pool all coming down. Probe did force the third hatchery location, so it really did its job initially. And again, until the Adept shows up and takes its place, expect this probe to keep on just sitting around, picking up info. You know, why not take information if it's being given to you? If there's no proper way to push this probe away, you can go ahead and make something of this, right? That's exactly what we're seeing a little bit of at the moment here, so a little bit of action in that regard. We will just sit chilling. Again, there's a Cybercore on the way up from Classic, back on the natural. Copper paneling down into the main base. Our next is still coming through. The Overlords are spreading. And really waiting for well, excitement. It takes a little while in PvZ for some excitement to happen. I mean, we're still waiting for the cyber core to be done, and maybe we can talk about a tech choice. The probe likely starts to fall back here, get the adept on the map. A lot of what I've already insinuated was going to happen is now just going to start taking shape, taking form. Probe over to the bottom right, just going to go nibbling away, and a couple lings going to pop, just going to go chasing after a probe already. But a couple lings from the other side, and the probe has to be like, uh-oh, back away from that one. Warp gate coming up, the Stargate coming through from Classic, more probes, the Adept, the link speed, and the drone all coming about for the moment. The Adept will cross by the pathway of that probie, heading down to the bottom right-hand corner, so away we go. Hatchery is going to be coming up on the natural end. And just another shade with that Adept, going to try and move through. Link speed will be finishing up shortly, the Adept not going to commit. A couple of Lings are going to get there. Chase that Adept down as the Oracle production does start. This Adept continues from Classic to head down toward the bottom right hand side. So again, a bit of a move across on that one just for the moment. So yeah, Adept continues to make a move. Another Adept going to come join up. Link speed is on the way. Queens are going to be here. Adept will still take damage. Just going to be seeing the Lings actually coming around on the other side. And first Adept actually going to cancel that shade. Lets the Lings guarantee the kill. I mean, I guess it wasn't looking pretty in the main base. Some Lings were over here as well, right? So we get an Adept kill. Classic doesn't find too much there. And again, with Oracle play, we're setting up just to try and play that slower setup from the get-go here. As this Oracle comes all the way over to the far right-hand side and looks to make, well, a move through into the natural where there's a hatchery just finished. There's no drones here, though, so nothing to take advantage of. There's a probe on the third. That gets taken down. I believe it started out over here, got found by the Lings, chased down and killed. So I cannot build that Nexus up. Probe's going to try and do it again. We're going to need this Oracle to show up a defense. The probe is going to realize that's not working out. He's going to try and hide in the corner, but that's just a gift, really. On the other side, the Adept is working for some kills. It's got 2 kills so far. It's low HP, but it shades out. The other Oracle will be trying to find something as well. The Adept shaded up into the main base. I thought it shaded away. Still didn't really do that much, as the Stasis Ward is going to get 2 drones. Again, it's something. It just feels like we're missing so much overall. We could be doing so much better than we currently are. As our Lings continue to come back across. Twilight Council and Forge both continue in production. And the Nexus continues up as well, with 2 extra gateways coming about. Kobe's coming through. The Oracle of Classic begins to make its way to the bottom right-hand side of the map, so it's going to come across here as well. Also looking for a way in for the moment. Twilight Council Forge all coming about. There's the Oracle getting 2, 3 drones. Nice, nice, nice. Finally, Classic going to connect. A little bit of extra damage compared to what he's been finding. Those are 3 or 4 drone kills this game, so yeah, that whole first Oracle and Adept combo really didn't find that much. I mean, there was a Ling or 2 that went down, a single drone died. You just expect more, right? Or you hope for more as a Protoss player, typically. Oracle still waiting about for a couple extra moments. Oracle's chill. It's going to be seeing the Adepts going after a couple of creep teamers. Again, doing what I like to see, like in the last time around as well. Seeing our Queen still chasing. The Adepts get pushed back. They're going to keep on shading around. The Oracle's still overhead. Just going to knock down a few more creep teamers. Oracle's got shoved back eventually. Melee upgrade is on the way, and the ladder's about to finish. Lings, Overlords, Hatchery, bit of everything coming through. Plus 1 in Blink on the way from Classic right now as well. Stalker's just about able to shove that Overlord away, so able to keep that back. Now we have Oracle Stalker gathering up on the left-hand side. Nexus will go down on the 4th base. The Ling going to show up as well. I mean, there's going to be some Stalkers nearby. They're going to turn around. They're going to pick that Zergling off. 3 more Stalkers on the way, +1 and Blink still coming out, and Classic is back into the middle of the map, heading over to the far right-hand side. So with Blink completing here, Classic, who's a game down in this qualifying matchup, is looking to put some work in. Now, Spire is building from DRG, looking to make it to Mutas, but A, if you get to Mutas, there's already Blink Stalkers, and B, you're not at the Mutalisks yet, so your army is going to be that little bit worse. No Roach speed, for example, means these Roaches are going to be way worse. Now you're supply blocked as well. Classic off to a decent start here. Just has to be careful of these Lings. We're killing drones already as a depth show up on the 3rd base, or the left side base. I think that was the 3rd, so the 4th base under attack here from the Stalkers. The Oracles have to take a step away as Queens show their power. But yeah, not a bad start at all. Now at least Roach speed will be finishing, and we take steps towards the right direction for DRG to hold on. Coming out that supply block, he's only got 7 lava with 1,500 minerals to spend. So the lava problems from DRG are likely going to land him in a little bit of trouble. Going to bog him down and slow him at this point from where he'd like to be. He is in fact going to spend his money on the Mutas though. They're one of the more expensive units per lava you could build, so it does spend the money and use up all the lava he has. But it means you have indeed made the Mutas with these Stalkers threatening on your front doorstep. And obviously the Mutas do not necessarily then create a defense for you here, so we'll see as Stalkers will get 1 Queen. For another, there's a couple of creep tumors going down. So Sword's going up again. Ling's still fighting. Stalker's still fighting. A few more Lings getting picked away at the Roaches, the Queens, the Ravagers still coming across. A couple of Corrosive Valves coming through. Still trading away. I mean, this is just a problem of Roach Ravager not being able to hold on. There's not enough numbers because you've invested in these Mutas. Well, they are going to start doing work, so don't get me wrong. I'm going to see some success with these Mutalisks, but they need to do a lot. I actually don't think I like the fact we're building Roaches again here now, because this feels like you're just committed to the base trade. Building extra Roaches now after initially building the Mutas feels like you're going to be in such a difficult position. Stalker's still fighting in. Ravagers and Roaches taking a bunch of damage. That Queen is going to go down as well. You can see our Stalker's still blinking up. Roach Ravager being hunted all the way down. 20 probes have gone down the other side of the map, but we're watching these Stalkers because this is where I think this game really will be decided. The Oracles activate on any of the Lings that they can. The Zealots are here to tank a little bit of work as well. They don't have charge or anything, but you know what? Even just getting up in front and, like I say, tanking would be great. They're actually just not really in the right position, but it doesn't really matter. Classic seemingly has too much, and obviously the Mutas on the other side was such an important factor. There's still 11 of them, but there's starting to be Stalkers to shut them down, and obviously DRG's taking so much damage that he's just recognizing that he can't make this work out anymore. GG's. Game 2 goes the way of Classic. Basically, it's very hard not to qualify for Code S. That sounds terrible for anyone that didn't make it, but it is difficult not to make it into Code S. So there's basically, you've still got 2 lives, even if you lose this qualifying match, even though this was the lower bracket of the first round. I mean, like I say, it's a little wild as we head into the top left side. I read Zerg, no, I mean, I liked what he did with the Mutas, just he needed something to help on the ground, or he needed to double down on the Mutas. It is DRG in the top left as I read Zerg. Bottom right, our Blue Protoss from Twisted Minds is Classic. As we get ourselves into the 3rd and final game of this series. 2nd series of our day. Not sure how much we're going to cast today. I'm casting some Stormgate later, guys, so I'm not going to be doing like an overly long stream or anything. Yeah. I come back like late Sunday afternoon or so to do a few games as well for GSL Qualifiers if there's some I have left to cast, but yeah, we'll go through a couple hours at least and enjoy some games. Maybe up until the Stormgate tournament starts, where we're on the second half of the day, so I want to keep an eye on the first half so we roughly know what's been going on and everything. Overlord is on the way down to the bottom right. Next is coming up on the natural of Classic here, and Probe is going to drop down a Cybercore. Am I live right now? Yes, I am live. Me personally, myself, live. Everybody else, not live. This is right, twat. Twitch, Twitch chat is pre-recorded. Yes, I am answering pre-recorded questions. Give the essence that chat is live, you know. Adept is coming up. The Stargate is about to be dropped here from Classic, so we are seeing him move into the Stargate. Third game in a row. I thought maybe a switch up, but Oceanborn lends itself to kind of Stargate. It's a very standard macro kind of laid out map, so Stargate and just getting yourself into the Oracles to go from there, and again, just be very good for you. As we do have our probe coming back, and once more, it says the Depth is going to tag in. Tag team scouting duo. Going to come across and keep an eye on everything as we move to the upper left-hand side. Adept continues to come about. We do see the Adept shooting up to the high ground. Queen is going to drop an inject down. See the Valve finished, a few drones and a couple queens still coming about, another Adept shading in. We do drop another gateway as part of this wall off here from Classic, so we just get that gateway finishing the wall. Adept continues to pull down, the Oracle coming up around the right side. So Oracle is going to go up to the northern side of the map, looking for a way to get through. As the few Lings are going to show up in a probe. Going to be there pretty quickly just to pop down the Nexus. There is the Oracle. 3 drones, but very nearly goes down. Well, it counts on its own as a follow-up, by the way. There's double Oracle only. I was going to say this might be a, you know, with only 2 Oracles, not a third, Twilight a bit faster. Maybe you see something like a Glaives. Just as a follow-up, like something different on the follow-up, essentially. Let's see, Robo Facility goes down as well. Sports coming in place from DRG. New Oracle to take over the duties on the aggressive side of the map. The hurt Oracle has come back to be more defensive, where it's going to be much less likely to end up in any sort of trouble. So, it's going to pull back over here. As our Stalker will finish the Overlord. Pick that up, finish that up for the moment. That's a lot of gates. Okay. I said Glaives, but I was a little bit wrong there. It's going to be Charge. The idea is similar, though. This idea of doing something very aggressive on the Twilight Council, because it's a little bit sooner. It's 2 Oracles instead of 3. You put a third base down anyways, but you're not building probes. No gases on the natural, and you know what? DRG doesn't have an Overlord to spot for these gases, so he is blind to the biggest telltale sign that this is going to be essentially a 2-base all-in. Like, yes, you've got the third Nexus. We're transferring probes here like we need to. Well, yeah, that's because he's taking them out of gas in the main base. There's no gas income at all for Classic right now. Prism's about to pop. The gateways are morphing in. The Oracle is there, dropping down one more Revelation, just hitting a couple queens and a few drones. Just making it look like he wants to know what's going on, just kind of roughly scout. DRG is up at 63 drones, and he's going to get to 64 in total at least. This is not good. I mean, he will start a couple of roaches, but that's already a ton of drones to deal with an attack as aggressive as this one, because with the amount of gateways we've got, they're going to warp in a ton of Zealots, and with that many Zealots, it's going to be difficult. You see the spines coming up. He's realizing now a little bit of what in fact is going on, so something has triggered him to recognize, okay, I'm in some trouble here. I need to do something. This next round of Zealots is going to be huge, and then with this round of Zealots, it's just a lot of Zealots. Spines are in good defensive position behind, you know, gases and behind minerals. Trying to take the surface area out. That's exactly what these queens are going to try and do as well, getting into this mineral line. Zealots charge into the front. Well, the spines, I mean, the spine's taking a lot of damage. First spine on the left side hits twice before it goes down. The spine on the top will never finish. Prism is not in any danger because the queens are kept back by the Zealots, which means the Prism can just warp straight into the fight. Stasis warps to come in aid as well. Going to catch a few of these units as they spawn out of the eggs. And that Stasis is going to catch a few roaches too. That ain't pretty. This looks as though this is going to be too far gone, as we killed a couple of probes on the other side of the map, but the real talk here is that Zealots are going to town on anything and everything. The drones got all caught there as well. There's one more round of Zealots warped in. DRG gives us a GG to let Classic qualify to code.